Hello, my dudes. I'm so glad to freaking see you guys. Yay! Okay, dudes. So, if you guys don't know me, I go by Naomi and I just give out life advice and I do vlogs, fashion, all that jazz. But today I just kind of want to share a message with you guys. This is all, of course, all my messages are more towards people who are focusing on working on their goddess, or people who are focusing on more just being comfortable, being a sensitive soul. So I do kind of like do a little delving in between those topics. But today, let's not pretend, bitch. You really came for, okay, I'm trying to like get over him. He hurt me really bad and it's time for me to fucking let go. And so I'm gonna give you tips on how I basically went through that and the things that I've kind of learned over the several mental breakdowns I've had. Because let's be honest, sis, you're gonna have a lot of fucking mental breakdowns, especially when you've saw yourself with this person. If you've literally envisioned them being that person that was gonna walk you down the aisle. Yes, sis, it's fucking tough. You're gonna have a lot of mental breakdowns and probably even more. But bitch, that's just how healing works, unfortunately. But yeah, that's just how healing works. So your girl got a little bit of, cute little tips that I kind of just basically I've learned. And step one, let's just not say step one. Let's just say lesson one is my love, he does not give a fuck about how you feel. He does not care how you feel. And you need to sit in that and understand that. And what I mean by that is you crying in his face, you screaming, crying, and feeling that pain, that hurt in front of him, he does not give a fuck about. The reason why he left you is because he was already in that moment of like letting go. So when you're sitting here crying and like weeping and like, showing him that you care so much, the thing is he does not give a fuck. And that's a very hard thing to swallow, especially because when you're hurt, you want to express to that person, okay, I'm hurt. Why can't you understand that? But it's mostly he just doesn't want to understand that. Because as I said, he already has it in his head that this already ended. It's already done. So there's no reason to put any emotion towards it when I've already left you. And I know like that's a very hard pill to swallow, but that's just how men think. Once they are done with a woman, or once they feel as though like they've, it's time to end things, they usually say their piece and then they go. So what I encourage you is, when he's like, you know what, I'm breaking up with you, because this is not. If you feel like it can't be worked out, then just let it go, sis. Let it go. And don't just act ballistic and vengeful, because at the end of the day, sis, like it's not gonna really fix you, and it's not gonna really fix the pain that he already caused. So yes, just understand that he does not give a fuck. He probably won't give a fuck. But I noticed that some men, they will do an action, and let's just use that person breaking up with you. They will do a fucking action, they break up with you, right? But then they don't register that like now. They typically register that later on in life. When it comes to women, we register that shit now because we're so fucking emotionally intelligent, and we know for a fact that like shit, like I'm in my feelings, this is how I feel. But when it comes to men, they're very action based, and typically they always they will reflect on that shit later on. They won't reflect on it now. So allow him to reflect on that shit later on. Allow him to like just leave. Allow him to go and stop trying to fight him to stay. And you cannot fight someone to love you. And as much as like it's also hurtful to know, if they feel like the love is not worth you, then you should always understand that there's someone else on the other side who already meets that expectations that you want. The one that doesn't have, you have to have, the one person that you don't have to like beg to be loved. Like there's always another person out there that will literally like, I don't mean to sound rude or mean, but they're gonna replace that person. It is what it is. And eventually, as time goes, you will forget that person. So, as I said, put it in your brain, understand it, right? He does not care. He will not give a fuck. Even if you scream and yell and do all you need to do, he does not care. He won't care. And if he will only care once things go bad on his end later on in life. But that's not on you. Like, that's for him to reflect on. And then also, I realized that stop seeking like adequate closure. Sometimes like the silence is enough closure to let go, right? I know a lot of times we want, as feminine energies, we want that closure. We want that okay, this is why I did this to you. We want that because it feels good. It makes us feel good. But at the end of the day, most of the time, that other person, they won't give you that closure. So it's mostly up to you to stop seeking that closure. And what I mean by that is just allowing the silence to be enough to let go. And as I said, like, this shit's fucking hard. And I'm not saying it's easy, because this is just a realistic version of what happens, you know, when you break up with somebody. And if you do get that closure, I am so happy for you, sis. That's good that he was sorry, sis. Bitch, I'm like speaking in my brain, going really, really fast. But anyways, as I was saying, even if you do like get that closure, sis, that's really fucking good. That's amazing. And you're able to move forward, and you're able to move forward smoothly. That's really good. But at the end of the day, if you are not the person that received closure, just understand that your silence should be their silence, and your silence should be enough to basically push and keep you going forward. Okay. So after this, everything has happened. You know, he left, he's silent. Okay, cool. What do I do now? This is where you start really communicating with your inner goddess. You start communicating with your inner self, your inner feminine, right? And you start asking yourself, okay, what can I do to make myself feel better? I need to heal at this point, right? So at this point, bitch, you become an absolute fucking goddess. And when I say that, I mean you start focusing your mental health. You start focusing on prioritizing your happiness. You start doing things that in the relationship you weren't able to do, you can now do now. Start upgrading yourself in ways that make yourself feel better. Become an absolute fucking goddess. Do not care about what he's thinking, what is he doing, because at the end of the day, as I said, he doesn't give a fuck. He probably won't ever give a fuck, and that's just how it is. But at this point, you need to upgrade your mentality, because at this point, you're at your lowest. And you need to get up. Get the fuck up. Start working on yourself. Start working on your mental health. Stop playing with yourself. When I say stop playing, I mean like stop sleeping on yourself, bitch. Because at the end of the day, you are that fucking bitch, right? Cry, grieve, do all that stuff that you need to fucking do. But at the end of the day, you need to toughen up a little bit, just a little bit, enough to where you need to really gain self-respect for yourself. Prioritize your mental health so fucking well, sis. Start like doing things, as I said, that make you happy. Go for walks, go for meditation. Start listening to podcasts that will definitely help you with your mental health. Start really focusing on your mental health, because even if like shit hits the fan where he starts to try to talk to you or trigger you, you'll be able to have that enough self-respect to be like, you know what, I'm gonna let you go. And I know that's a very, as I said, I'm gonna keep saying this because I know that's a very hard thing to understand. But as I said, like, you need to learn to carry yourself in a whole different light, because at the end of the day, that relationship has ended, right? That means you cannot carry your old self onto your new self. There are things you have to let go, and there are things that are gonna happen, especially when it comes to change. You're gonna change a lot, bitch. You're gonna change. You're gonna have to change, because at the end of the day, that relationship has to force you to change. But you need to understand that you must change for the better and not for the worse, okay? So if you want to sit down and you want to grieve and you want to cry, bitch, fucking do that. But at the end of the day, go to the gym. You want to go fucking, go have sex with a guy, cool. It is what it is. But he better be a fucking upgrade compared to that loser, period. And this is just how I feel about it, You guys can comment me in the comments and tell me what I'm like. If you guys agree, if you guys disagree. I love like hearing other people's opposing opinions too. But in regards to that, like, as I said, like, you are an absolute fucking goddess. So at this point, you need to start acting like it. And then also reflect on like what expectations that you want going forward into a different relationship. So say for instance, if your emotional needs weren't met in that past relationship, make sure that your needs are going to be met in the next relationship. Make sure that you're able to like say, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z. You need to care for me, you need to love me, you need to be able to provide for me intellectually, spiritually, physically, all of that. And if that next person can't fucking do that, then fucking bounce, because he's not meant to be able to treat your goddess energy the way that it should be treated, period. And then of course, grieve in silence. This is a very important thing. Sometimes men, sometimes they have a slight ego boost when they see a woman's just crying and melting away mentally over him. It's like, and I know it's very sick. It is a sick thing. Let's just be honest here. It's a very sick thing, but some men, they get off to just knowing that, yeah, this girl is suffering for me. She's crying for me. She must really love me. Meanwhile, I don't give a fuck about her. I'm over that bitch. And I know, like, it's really bad. Like, why did it? And then I'm just saying some men, not all men. So let's be honest here. Not all men do that. But some men, they get an ego boost off of watching their loved person, the person that they used to love, like, be so miserable without them. Because at the end of the day, it gives them that ego boost, And this is why I encourage that if you are grieving, sis, my love, please grieve in absolute silence. And I know that's a very hard fucking thing to do. When you are hurt, you want to express your hurt, especially when you are a sensitive soul. You want to express that you are fucking hurt, and this person needs to know that this person hurts you. No, do not fucking do that. He left. After he left, bitch, you shouldn't be sending him messages saying how much like he lost you, No, let the universe prove that point. You don't need to do anything further. And when I say grieve in silence, I mean, do not show this man a fucking single tear after he has left. There's no reason for you to sit there and cry about it. There's no reason for you to sit there and like, well, you can cry about it, but don't let this man know that you're crying about it, because that will boost his fucking ego. It is what it is. It's gonna boost his ego, and it's gonna boost his ego, and he's gonna get a thrill off of knowing that, as I said, a person's care for him so deeply that they feel like they're just losing a really good, important person. Like, that's what he thinks. And I know that sounds just really weird, but it's true. Some men think that, once a girl that they used to care about, like, she's just going crazy without him. They just like, they love that shit. They love to eat that shit up. It's just how some men work out. It is what it is. But as I said, grieve in silence. Don't show him that you're crying and you're having mental breakdowns over him and you're so mentally disorganized. Don't show him that. Do not fucking show him that. What you should do is you continue doing the things that you love, do the things that make you passionate, do the things that keep getting you forward in life. And at the end of the day, he doesn't deserve to even see that side. Let's be honest. So grieve powerfully and grieve hard, but do not fucking show him that at all. Don't give him that ego boost. Don't give him that. At that point, he no longer has access to you, okay? So that means do not give him that access to you. Pretty much, that's it. And yes, and like understand, like if he left you, do not go back to him. I know we love to put on our fucking clown makeup. We love to be like, oh, that's my man, my man, my man, my man. But bitch, don't go back to him, sis. He's gonna hurt you again. It's like, you know, it's like walking into fire and not expecting yourself to get burned. And then when you get burned again, you're like, fuck, why did that happen? Well, it's almost because, you know, you walked into the fire. You knew that it was fire. You knew it was gonna get you burned. So why would you go back? And it's like, if it doesn't work out the few times that, you know, it's fucked up, things got fucked up, don't keep coming back, sis. You have to understand, as a sensitive soul, as a feminine energy, you deserve better. And he's gonna keep showing you actions, that he's gonna keep showing you his fucked up actions. Nothing is gonna change. Men do not change overnight, they change by their actions. If his actions have not changed drastically, like if there's adequate amount of time, now I'm gonna leave that type of vision towards you, but give it time to change. Like I know some people are like, oh well, if he loves you, he'll come back, but not all men change so very easily. Let's just say that. Don't fucking go back to him. Stop going back to him. He's not gonna change. He's not gonna change. And I'm gonna keep telling you, my girl, he's not gonna fucking change. That's just how it is. He's not gonna change. And I know it hurts because you want him to change so bad. And I know that feeling of when like you fall in love with the vision of him being better, not necessarily him being better. You just fall in love with the illusion of him being better. If he has hurt you so many fucking times and it's so hard, sis, let it go. Please, please, please let it go. And trust me, your future self will thank you for that. Because at the end of the day, you would be able to upgrade to a person that can actually meet your needs and expectations. So do not go back to him. He will not change. He will not ever change. And upgrade your expectations when it comes to your next relationship. So, sorry, I'm just like really thinking for a second. So I noticed that that is a very controversial opinion as well, but I'm one of those people. I don't believe that you have to be fully healed to go to or move on to a different relationship. Similarly, you don't have to necessarily love yourself all the way to go into a new relationship. Because sometimes when you are in a new relationship, that person can make you fall in love with yourself. You start seeing different happier versions of yourself within that person, and that can create a really good environment where you start to really love yourself and understand how you react to certain things, and you start to really reflect on like, wow, damn, like I'm really feeling myself in this relationship. I'm really feeling myself like in the deepest connections within myself. Now, I'm not saying that you need to, like, this person is gonna change you, this person is gonna heal you. I mean, and even if they do, that's fine. But then as I said, I don't really think you need to be fully healed to be in a healthy relationship. Because if you're in a healthy relationship, sometimes that relationship is enough to heal some wounds that, you know, that are hard to get over or hard to understand. So I understand when people are like, oh, well, you know, you need to be fully healed, you need to be ready to be in a relationship when you go into a new relationship or whatever. And the thing is, like, some people just don't be ready when it comes to being in a new relationship. Some people, when they fucking, you know, they're not looking for love, they're not seeking for love, they're falling in love with themselves, attract really healthy people into their life just by them radiating that type of energy. And that's just, it is what it is. And so, this is why I say, like, and then, well, this is why I really say is that sometimes being in a relationship can really heal wounds that, you know, within yourself. And sometimes relationships, a healthy relationship, can teach you how to love yourself. And of course, you can do these things by yourself. It's totally up to you. And then also with the choice of healing, like, you can heal within a relationship or you can heal by yourself. I feel like, as I said, everyone in the media always wants to say, oh, as I said, you need to make sure you're fully healed. You need to make sure you're fully just ready. Like, the thing is, like, the problem is no one's fucking ready for a relationship. It is what it is. No one's ready for a relationship. And if they are, and they end up getting into a healthy relationship, they could just fall in love with themselves and also the other person as well. That's just my point. So yeah, as I said, love, I just want you to make sure you are understanding that this journey is going to be a long one. Just like how you can remember all the pain and all of the excuses and all of the manipulation of your other past exes, you can still remember that, and this may have added on to it, but understand this, like, each relationship is a lesson, and each relationship is more of a step to, okay, how can I upgrade? What are my boundaries? How can I establish those boundaries within my next relationship? It's like you're always, like, each relationship is just a stepping stone forward to your next relationship, to where basically eventually, if you want to, my love, you can reach your husband or your wife or whatever you prefer to be with. Basically, be married to that person. That's all. But you're always moving forward when it comes to these type of relationships. If you had shitty relationships in the past, just know that those relationships were meant to be a lesson. So once you actually have that person in your life that you are meant to be with, you will feel absolutely complete. But I am so glad, my loves, you guys were able to listen to me, share this with me, you know, just take in this vision with me. I just thought to really share this message with you guys because I just been really feeling like, you know, I just want to, like, give my girlies a really good, a little pep talk, because I really want the best for you guys. And as I said, my loves, I love you guys. I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye.